And we are live. Welcome, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it may be. Welcome to yet another episode of the Full Aussie, except this one's a bit of a special one, a little bit more of a special one.
Oh yeah.
Let's be real. It's the biggest one we've ever done, debatably. I mean, it's way up there. Thank you all so much for coming out. I know everyone's, I don't know about you, but over here it's really, really cold. So thank you for being here. As normal, I'm going to go through and introduce our guests, including our special one at the moment. And no, I'm not talking about Mara. So first of all, we have our good friend Raging Rhino. How are you doing, sir?
Yes, very well. Very excited for a great show.
Yeah, me too.
Let's get into it.
The rumors are that Lyndon might talk tonight. How are you doing, Lyndon?
Holy shit. I'm very excited.
We have a start. Now we got to keep going.
Yeah.
And our good friend Mara. How are you doing, Mara?
I'm good. I woke up at 7 a.m. this morning thinking my alarm was going to go off like 2 hours later. And I'm like, oh, that's the start of my morning, pretty much.
And
if you see my dog pop up, she's changing positions on the bed.
Oh, everyone loves your dog. Everyone loves your dog. And, well, I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but there's this thing called the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Allegedly, it's like the most financially successful franchise, allegedly, of all time. And there was this one that came out that wasn't, well, it kind of split a lot of people. That one was Captain Marvel. But it turns out there's actually a good version of the movie. A really good version of the movie. And ladies and gentlemen, I am super happy to say that we have the definitive Captain Marvel on the Full Aussie. The great, the beautiful, the amazing Kenzie Taylor. How are you doing?
Hi, everyone. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to go through the chat and see who's in here. But we'll start with the early birds. Where are we? Boom, 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 boom. So the first one I have here is our good friend Doritos. Thank you so much, Doritos. He says Lethal is going up in the world of celebrities. I think it doesn't. Where do you go from Captain Marvel, like the actual good one? So thank you. Dave M, thank you so much. He says
downhill from here, Lethal.
Well, he says if only if you've gotten Bree to show up as well. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Thomas, who says you're going to be busy at this time, so here you go, brother. Hail the Full Aussie. Hail Kenzie Taylor, and thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Sister Harrow, K-Log as well. Biggles Mets, he says, welcome to the Full Aussie, Kenzie. May you enjoy being on the show as much as we love watching it. Oh, that was really nice.
Aw.
Subhuman says, this is going to be a great stream. It will indeed. It will indeed. But yeah, let's see who else is in here. Just want to get high as many people as possible. I see Steph, My Nerdy Home, Stephen Walton, Roofy, Supreme Heretic, the Star Wars Lounge, Apollo Patriot, Soul Assassin, our boy Drunk 3PO. What is up, sir? Good to see you.
Hilarious name.
Drunk 3PO?
Yeah.
He'll love hearing you say that, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He's gonna clip that. Soul Assassin's here. The Geek Blend is here. Ed Chimera. Oh my God, there's so many people. Rana Studios. Dave M. Fictopus. Angelus Dreven. Scarlett, the beautiful Scarlett. Good to see you, Scarlett. Hope you're doing well. Snowdub Music Entertainment. Glory to Trans Fat. Thank you so much, Snowdub. Good to see you, sir. Daniel, our boy Daniel is here. Oh, I thought he was out partying. Oh well, he's here.
He said he'd be here for the mainstream. He was out for the pre-show.
Okay. Christina. Oh my God, there's just so many people here. Cameron's here as well. Wow, we got Cameron. Jed, the Red Gaze, Demarjanai, David. There's just so many people here. Thank you all so much for coming out. We truly, truly, truly do appreciate it. I see Price of Reason. Man, there's just so many people here.
Chat's moving fast as I've ever seen.
It is.
I think there must be some sort of reason for that.
Well, let's just jump right into it. So, Kenzie, we'll start off with just like some basic, simple questions and all that. How long have you been in the adult industry for, roughly?
I have been doing adult film for about 5.5 years now.
5.5, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it safe to say that this was kind of like your biggest role that you've had?
Oh, by far, yeah. Any interview I've ever done so far, I even did a magazine spread in AVN regarding Captain Marvel, and this is by far the biggest role I've ever had in my entire career. I've actually never gotten a role where I got to act before in a film like this. Axel really took a shot in the dark by choosing me, but he's very as well as everyone else, so I think I did a good job.
I think you did too. I think,
I think
most
so
people
too.
will agree with that. Well, it's funny you say that because when we had Axel on, he talked about a bit of his casting process and how there was like 140 people that auditioned for the role of Captain Marvel. And he said that when he saw your audition, he was just completely blown away. He was like, "That's it, that's Captain Marvel." So, I mean, to beat 139 other people, you must have had done a pretty goddamn good audition. So, can you tell us a little? He didn't tell us anything about it. Can you tell us what it is? How that went down?
Yeah. So I actually really wanted to audition for it, but I was super nervous and I kept like debating whether or not I was going to. And my boyfriend, who is like basically best friends with Axel, and his name is Seth Gamble. He has been the lead in many of Axel's films. He actually was Deadpool. But he encouraged me to really give it a shot. He's like, "You really should try it. You know, you've never done anything like this, and just at least try it." So I went ahead and I sent an email to the email that was in the press release regarding auditioning. And they emailed me back, and it was basically like a paragraph of like dialogue that they wanted you to. You could either read off of it into the camera for your video audition, or you could memorize it and do something with it. And I know a lot of people for auditions don't take it very seriously, and they just go ahead and read off the paper. And I'm a perfectionist. I'm not a perfectionist as on Axel's level, but I'm a perfectionist. And I was like, I'm going to memorize this and I want to do something different. So I know, the Captain Marvel colors, she wears like red and blue and stuff like that. So I wore a red shirt. And I was wearing like really tight jeans and boot heels, because she wears black tall boots with heels in some of the comic books. So I had my boyfriend film me on the camera. It took about probably 50 different tries because I just wasn't happy, and I kept like wanting to retry it until I got the perfect shot, or to what I thought was the perfect shot anyway. We went out into an alleyway because I thought it was really cool. The lighting was kind of like moody. And there was just different shots where like I was walking in the alleyway and he was getting me walking towards the camera. And then there were just different shots. I don't really know like how to explain it without sounding boring, but it was really cool.
There's nothing you can say that will be boring.
And I had memorized that entire paragraph, and I really wanted to make sure that what I had read and what I had memorized didn't come off like I was just reading out of my own head. I wanted to make sure that the emotion came along with that. And I wanted to also make sure that I threw some humor in there, because I know a lot of, Axel's parodies do have some comedy in them, which obviously Captain Marvel, this one had a lot of comedy. But I didn't know that at the time. But so I'm a very sarcastic person as it is, and I wanted to make sure to show my true self also in the audition. So it was like really dramatic and stuff like that. And then like I started to be kind of like funny near the end of it. I did like this clip where I have a skateboard and I had my boyfriend lay on it, and I dragged him like really fast to make it look like I was like using the power and dragging him along. And he was like, making different noises. And then I was like, Captain Marvel, bitch. And that was the end of it. But it was really funny. And I even like, I learned actually how to edit when I made that. So that was pretty cool. And I did Axel had a Captain Marvel Axel Braun parody picture that he had put up with the press release for the audition. So I used that photo at the beginning of my audition tape, and I did like a sound effect that led into my video. So that was pretty cool because I had never done anything like that. So I was like, "This is awesome! I kind of know what I'm doing."
Did the digs at Brie Larson, were they scripted, or did you and Axel sort of come up with those together, or the little things that you say about Brie throughout the film?
So Axel creates the script. He's the mastermind behind it all. He really puts details into everything that he does. Like I was showing you guys before we actually went live, like the actual DVD like opens up and it looks like a comic book. I don't think I can show that on here because it shows naughty stuff.
No.
But yeah. But yeah, it's really cool. Like he really puts detail into everything. And like I said, he puts comedy into it. And you know, many people were not happy with the mainstream film. So what better than to have me make a joke of it? So
it worked out really, really well in my opinion. But one thing that really caught me by surprise was like, you know, because like we're comic book people here, and whenever there's like a new announcement for a character, whoever it may be, one of the first things we look at is the costume. We go, that looks trash. You go, that looks pretty good, you know, whatever it may be. Her images leaked and they did not look very appealing. You know what I mean? Like it just looked so bland and boring, and there was just nothing going with it. And yet we look at your Captain Marvel and honestly a lot of other Axel's characters and we go, how come, I guess this is kind of my question, goes, how come Axel's costumes look better than Hollywood's for the most part?
So he gets them custom made, obviously. So actually my costume took months because it literally was like molded to my body. And I had like, I think they were 9 inches, the heels that I had to wear. They were actually sewn into my costume. So it's like one whole thing. It took 3 people, well, me and 2 other people, so 3 of us to get my costume on. And it's very hot. So I would like coat my entire body in basically like deodorant dry powder body spray, and it would help from like getting really nasty like and soaking wet in it because it was really hot when we were filming. I think one of the days we filmed outside and it was like, I think it was honestly like almost 100 degrees. It was really, really hot out.
Yeah, he mentioned that you do a lot of long days, like 23-hour days.
Yeah, for sure. But the product is so amazing and his sets are so just not stressful at all. So you just don't even think about the time you're there. I mean, I don't anyway. I'm speaking from my own experience. I literally had so much fun doing Captain Marvel, and I loved the cast and the crew, and I just had such a great time. Like, I honestly was so sad when we stopped, you know, after our last day. I was really, really bummed because I felt like I had really, you know, bonded with all of these people. You create such an amazing product with them, and I mean, how could you not bond with them? So
that's a fair point. Yeah, you brought up how a lot of people didn't like the mainstream version of the movie. You've seen it, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have to watch it before you did this one?
No, actually, I watched it before I even had found out that Axel was doing. Like, I literally watched it like 3 weeks before or four weeks before he even announced he was doing auditions for it. But I can see why a lot of people are upset with it. I thought Brie Larson did a terrible job because she was monotone the entire time. Her jokes, because she was so monotone the entire time, they really weren't even landing. And I just feel like she didn't do Captain Marvel justice. Like, Captain Marvel is badass. She's like fucking phenomenal. Like, when you play a role like that, like, you need to exude like that you're fucking badass and powerful. And I just didn't get that from her. I really got like what the fuck is like, what is this?
Yeah, I see like totally how like like you look at Robert Downey Jr. and you can think Iron Man because he actually became the role. Like Chris Evans, like you can see Captain America because he became the role. So it's like it's like I can only imagine getting offered any parts like that. It's like if I were to be offered any like a role in like a DC film, because I'm more like a DC fan, and then you love Batman. So if I got a role in a Batman film, I'd be like hyped and I'd want to just exude like whatever the character is. And that's I think that's like the main issue I had, because I watched it. I'm not going to say how, but I watched it. And I checked out because I started checking my phone. I'm like, I started like my dog was on the bed. I started talking to her. I was like,
so boring.
How do you feel about the desexualization of some of these characters throughout the, obviously Captain Marvel? I mean, you did a great job filling out that costume in comparison to how Brie filled out her costume. Like,
no butt doubles.
Well,
how do you feel about that in Hollywood right now?
The thing with that really grinds my gears. I, as a woman, I feel that if you got it, flaunt it. Like I don't know. I was always taught like to be very confident and proud of what I have and what I am, and I feel like Hollywood is almost condoning women to really almost, I don't want to say become a boy, but like be not themselves, I guess, in a way. Like they're covering up, you know what I mean? Like I have a little cleavage showing right now and they're like up to here. Like
yeah.
It's just it's getting kind of like out of hand. But I think a lot of it too is because of, the whole like Me Too movement. I feel like they're doing that to women in a way to where there's no like Me Too stuff happening. Because if women are not dressed provocatively, or if they're not getting as many roles, or stuff like that, like I feel like it almost gives them a pass in a way to not be doing anything wrong, I guess, per se. That's just my own opinion.
That was like one of the issues I had, especially because like of the fact that whenever they bring up arguments in kind of like support of the desexualization in Hollywood, they always bring up what's called like the male gaze, like that phrase like keeps coming up. And I'm looking at it going, I'm a woman, and like art is subjective, beauty is subjective, things like that. So it's like women want to see something appealing to like, on the screen. So it doesn't matter man or female, like man or woman, essentially. And so why are you desexualizing women, but it's okay to show Jason Momoa like without a shirt on in Aquaman? I mean, that's basically objectification right there, because most of the audience that went to go see that film were women going to watch Jason Momoa on the screen.
Exactly.
So I'm sitting here thinking like, and I speak up, and like I feel like our voices are ignored to a point, because I'm saying that like why
right male.
Yeah. Last time I checked, I'm not a male, so like why why are you doing this? Why can't you just let them, like there's difference between like crass and provocative sort of situation. And they look at it going like, anything that's like provocative is crass. I'm like, no, you can be provocative. Like, Wonder Woman, she's in a full suit of like armor and she still looks provocative. So that's all about perception, and they're dictating what that perception is to everyone else who are watching these films, pretty much.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. The thing with Axel, actually, when he did my costuming, I mean, he got the idea of my costume actually from a Captain Marvel figurine, but the reason he wanted it like molded and stuff to my body was to really show off my figure, and that's not just because we're in a porn movie. Like, he just really wants to show what Captain Marvel really looks like in the comic book. She's blonde, she has big boobs, she has a butt, she has blue eyes. I have all of those things. So he really wanted to, accentuate that. And I'm really glad that I got to give comic book fans, and just my fellow nerds a good representation of Captain Marvel, even if it just wasn't a porn movie. Like the movie that I did, I know that it's a porn movie, but like I consider it, you know what I mean, like an actual movie, because we put so much into it and such long days, and like I was literally in every single scene of that movie. There wasn't a scene I wasn't in, including all of the sex scenes. So like it was really, really hard work. It was a long script, and yeah, I'm really grateful.
Oh, well, so are we. Like, you know, because just as comic book people, just as nerds, like, we just want to see these characters that we know and love and read, play, whatever it may be. You know, when it gets announced, they go onto the big screen, the initial reaction should be like, yes, I can't wait to see that. But we've kind of reached the stage where, because of Hollywood, we think, oh, God, what are they going to do to this character? So then we had Brie Larson come out and play Captain Marvel, and we all know how that went down. But the thing with, like, the character of Captain Marvel and just Marvel in general, I feel like they've just really dropped off comic book wise. Captain Marvel, you know, I personally preferred her when she was Miss Marvel. That's just a personal preference. I feel like they've just kind of taken this character and they just tried so many different things and every single time they just seem to desexualize her this little bit more and more and more, to the point where she's almost not even recognizable. And then along you come and we're like, wow, you fixed it. Like, thank you. So that's just kind of how we feel seeing it from that point of view. And like you said, like, we can all tell it's a porn movie. I mean, we all watched it. But even just like the representation of the character, it's just way more accurate to how Captain Marvel should be. So as far as I say, I consider you the definitive Captain Marvel. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. Like, you know, you got like Kevin Conroy, who's the definitive Batman. And then you have Kenzie Taylor, who's the definitive Captain Marvel. So,
Thank you.
Well, see, the other thing too is how it does connect to the comics, and how, like, you were showing us the DVD before and the cover that Axel made for that. And I mean, I know you can't show it, but even just explain what he actually did with that for the people in the chat. Just, you know, you talk about how the comic book fans out there, and we were able to get our Captain Marvel, our true Captain Marvel, through you. But, you know, I just thought, explain to them, obviously you can't show it, but explain to them how he did it.
So like I said, you know, Axel's a perfectionist, but that's one of the things I love about him, because he really cares about every detail of his films. So for the DVD, it's obviously a normal DVD, but there's actually a cover that slides over it, and it's like a booklet that opens up. And when you open it up, there's I could show this part. I'll just cover up this, but it opens up, and it's like there's my photo with my signature, and then over on the other side that I cannot show, there is different photos of. From the movie, like there's just from the different characters, and like there's a few of me, but he did it to where it looks like a comic book. Like there's the little like bubbles with sayings in them and stuff like that. It literally looks like a comic book. So that is literally just one example of how phenomenal his product is and how much time and consideration he puts into it. And that is one reason why I am so proud to, ever have even worked for Axel on this film. Because literally, when you're actually even filming with him, he'll do like a lot of shots of something rather than just do like 2 takes and be good. But it's because he wants to get the best shot. You know what I mean? He'll do like maybe like 6 to 10 shots of something, but he's gonna get the best one. And he's brutally honest. Like he'll be like, okay, perfect, let's move on. But if he doesn't like something, he'll say, no, I don't like that. And he'll be honest.
Well, it was funny. He was kind of explaining how he sort of inherited that, I think, from his dad. When he was on with us, he was sort of explaining a film that his dad was doing, and he needed a specific shot, and he was just going to cancel the whole film, but Axel actually had the shot for him. So I think he may have inherited that from being the perfectionist from him. But yeah,
just a sideline a little bit. Where can people find a link to buy the DVD? Is it on Axel's website?
Yeah, it's I don't want to give the incorrect website address. I don't know if somebody can try and pull it up, but I think it's axelbraun.com.
Yeah, Lyndon, can you please do that?
I think so. If you just want to like look really quick to make sure.
Yeah, I see quite a number of people in the chat asking for it.
Yeah.
It's a really cool DVD. Like,
It's really cool, guys.
awesome.
It's really cool. It won movie of the year, parody movie of the year. I was nominated for Best Actress. One of my sex scenes in this actually won an award as well. Yeah, it won a lot of AVN awards. It's a really, really, really cool movie.
awesome.
We gonna say something, Mara? Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, just the cover. Like, a part of me wishes, like, just mainstream Hollywood release DVDs like that, especially their superhero franchises, because that's like we're, like Lethal pointed out, we're nerds and we're going from like our impressions of the comic books, our love for the comic book characters, and watching the movies. Something like that would just go over really well with the nerd fandom. Just having that option of like opening up and seeing like panels on the inside, and like this. He puts a little bit more care than just mainstream Hollywood. Like, it's like how I don't know how hard it is for mainstream Hollywood to do that, but they put out a movie, raking the money, and then just like push out a DVD, and it's like whatever. Just,
Hey, I've got an image here. I'll show you. This is like how Captain Marvel used to look. So this is how back when she was Miss Marvel, and I think this one looks a lot more like you, to be honest. The better one. So compare that to how they draw her now, and I think it's such a shame. It's such a shame. So it just looks so flat. Do you know what I mean? Like flat and boring. Like
Almost
looks
like
like
a dude's
Ray
head.
Larson.
It's like a male body.
Yeah,
It looks like a male body. You're right.
without giving my thoughts on the current state of feminism now, it's like I feel like it's the issue I have with current day feminism, not to get political on this stream or anything like that, is that they degrade men, but at the same time want to get rid of our feminine qualities and essentially become male characteristics, or take on male characteristics. And that's why I love the old drawings of females, because you could actually see the accentuation of like the female body. Whereas now it's like, hey, we got to desexualize everything. We got to make it more like a male, so we don't come off as like, being hip with Me Too or anything like that. So,
I don't understand what's so wrong with being sexy these days.
I don't know.
Like it's like if you act sexy, dress sexy, you're the bad person or something. You're a part of the problem or something. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, Axel actually.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Axel kind of touched on that. He said that he used the Brie Larson Captain Marvel as an example, just how desexualized she was in that movie. And he brought up how like there's kind of been like this narrative in Hollywood about how it's almost bad to be sexy. Like you're the bad guy if you want your good-looking girl to look like a good-looking girl. That type of stuff, we kind of talk about quite a bit, because it gets to the point where it's affecting the characters we like, and then along comes Kenzie and fixes it for us. So, but yeah, did you want to anything like elaborate on what he said?
Yeah, I was just going to touch on what Rhino said regarding like the dressing. So I feel like in a way, when women are sexy or want to feel sexy and we dress up and wear heels or something like that, and if guys are saying like nasty remarks or like catcalling us and stuff like that, that they're almost trying to, in a way, saying that we're asking for that. And it's like, I'm never asking for that. I literally just want to feel sexy.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to lie. Like, there are a lot of times when like, I don't really ever dress up because that happens to me. I mean, it does happen to me sometimes too, when I'm just dressed like how I am right now with this shirt and leggings on. But like, it sucks because I have a lot of like really cute, sexy outfits that I like, that I feel really, pretty in. And, I can't wear them because I have to deal with that. So
yeah,
it's like a double-edged sword in a way.
It's just ridiculous how society's gone with that sort of narrative. I have a bit of a a funny question. Have you ever been sort of recognized in a social situation that's been like an awkward situation for maybe the other person, like a funny scenario where you've been actually recognized and a funny story or anything?
Okay, so this past Christmas, I went home to surprise my family. I'm originally from Michigan, and I haven't been home in like 7-8 years, so I wanted to surprise them. And I went there and surprised my family, and I was hanging out with my mom for a few days, and we were staying at this really big resort that also has like a casino attached to it and stuff like that. And we were walking around, and I was recognized by someone, and he kept staring at me and kept staring. And my mom's like, what is this guy's problem? And I knew he recognized me, and I didn't want to be like, Mom, he's probably jerked off to me. So I was like, it's okay, Mom, just ignore it. Because that's what I do. When people are creepy like that, I ignore it. I'm sorry. If you're a fan, if you are a fan and you're respectable, I love you so much. You can come up to me. I'll sign whatever. I'll give you a hug. I'll talk to you for a little bit. That's totally fine. But if you're going to be creepy, I'm not going to be respectful to you. I'm sorry. Especially I'm with my mother, and like, it was just ridiculous. So he kept staring, and I was like, Mom, it's fine. Just ignore it. And he kept doing it. And I was like, all right, let's just, let's get up and we'll walk over there. And he followed me. And I was like, oh man,
God.
this has happened, this has happened like a few times. And so he followed me, and then like he sat like the seats were not that far apart. He sat like right behind me.
Oh no.
And I turned around on my chair, and I was like, can I help you? And he goes, oh no. I was like, well, sir, you've been staring at me now for probably 20 to 30 minutes, and you followed me all the way over here. I'm just trying to enjoy some time with my mom right now. Can you please respect that? And he goes, yeah, you're Kenzie Taylor, right? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, oh, okay. Well, yeah, I recognize you. I was like, I know. I was like, I appreciate you. Thank you. But like, can you please stop following me and please respect my time with my family? And he goes, okay, I'm really, really sorry. Like, big fan, sorry. And he was just embarrassed, and he walked away. But like, I've had amazing experiences though with fans. I'll give you an example. One time I was traveling, and I was in Texas, and I was at the airport, and it was early in the morning, like I think like 7:30 or something like that. And I had a layover, and I went to the Starbucks, and it was a really long line. So I was standing there in line waiting, and there was a guy like behind me that came up, and he was like, hey, you're Kenzie Taylor, right? And he was kind of whispering, and I was like, yeah. And he goes, I don't want to be like creepy or anything or bother you, but like, I just want to let you know I'm a really big fan, and like, you're so beautiful, and it's really nice to meet you. I was like, oh, thank you so much, sweetie. I was like, you want to stand by me and we'll get some coffee? And he's like, are you serious? Like, yeah. So we went up in line, and I bought him a coffee. I bought myself a coffee, and I sat with him for 5 minutes. We talked. I told him to have a good day. I gave him a hug, and like, I went on with my day, and he left. That is the type of like respectful approach that I appreciate. And I don't know if it's like this for like regular people that work in like mainstream movies, but I feel like in porn, for some reason, that people have this misconception that, because I have sex on camera, that automatically I just want you to ooze over me and be like creepy and come up to me and be sexual and stuff like that. And it's like, that's not it at all. Like, I'm a human being. I'm a woman. I have, morals, and I'm respectable, and I'm intelligent. I'm educated, and I appreciate and value respect from people. And I treat others how I want to be treated. That's how I was raised. So I try not to have expectations of other people anymore, because I have been let down. But I really wish that all fans could see this, so they know. Just be respectable, and I will love you forever.
Well, I'm sure Lethal hopes every fan can see this too. Don't worry.
Yeah. No, you're spot on. You're spot on. Just don't be a weirdo. Like, I feel like I'm a prime example. I get starstruck. I mean, you can tell that from when I spoke to you the other day. I was like, oh, hi, how you doing?
I loved it. I actually texted Axel. I was like, oh my God, it was so cute. He was shaking his hand. It was so awesome. I love that. Like, I really, really appreciate like kind people like you guys. Like, I can't tell you enough, like, how nice it is to talk to other people and to not be judged and talked down to, because society in general really looks down on my industry, on what I do for a living. They think that it's wrong, that it's disgusting. How could I do that? And my answer to that is, I work a legal job. It is a job. I don't just go to set and have sex with everyone and it's some big party. Like, that's not what it is. It's very, very professional. And there's several people there, and like, we do paperwork and stuff like that. And like, you know, I pay taxes, a lot of taxes. So
I feel like a lot of people who are complaining, kind of like, I guess the more, for one better way of putting it, like the more prudish types who are complaining, I'll always like point out that if you actually look in the history of Hollywood, there were a lot of movies that would be like borderline pornographic with how they depicted their sex scenes. But because it was mainstream Hollywood, it was kind of like, there was maybe some people complaining about it, but it was mainstream Hollywood, so it's considered art. And I'm looking at it going, like, what's the difference? There's just more of it in a porn. It's not, I'm not seeing what the big deal is as far as how it's all perception, really. That's like I pointed out. So art is subjective, and I'm like, if you don't like it, don't watch it, but don't bitch to the people who are actually doing this work, because that is their job, as you point out. And there are those who enjoy watching it. So
yeah, it doesn't make sense to me, this whole, because someone's in a different industry, you got to look down on them. I mean, to me, that just sounds dumb. Like, regardless of what it is, it could mean anything. I just think it's dumb.
It's the same thing as the creeps, though. It's like, just because you work in this industry doesn't mean when I see you in public, I want you to come and rub up against me, sort of thing. Like, that same scenario.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's bizarre. I mean, like, but surely, I don't know, I might be stepping over the line here, but do you think, like, I mean, do you consider yourself the better Captain Marvel? So don't you, like, you sit down, you're like, fuck you, Hollywood, I did it better than you could ever do it.
No, you know, I don't think that. I never think like I'm better than or anything like that. But
Well, you are.
I definitely know, like, I did a good job. You know, like I said, like, I was nominated for Best Actress for this movie, which is literally one of the biggest awards you can win in my industry at AVN. AVN is the biggest expo and award show. It's basically the Oscars of porn, is what they call it. So that was a huge win for me, even though I didn't win, which I would have loved to. But I just I never try to look at myself as like better than. In my opinion, I wish that, like I was just talking about, I just wish that people wouldn't look down on this. And I feel like if people didn't look down on porn so much, that they actually would watch this film and they would like it, you know, because you can watch it without the sex.
Yeah, we had a pre-stream before, and we were talking with someone, and they said that they watched it without the sex, and I think that's, I don't know why you would do that personally, but it's in general, I mean, and this goes for all of Axel's movies, but especially Captain Marvel, and I'm way more of a DC guy as opposed to a Marvel guy, but it's just a good movie. In general, it's a good movie. It's way more respectful to the characters. That's something we talk about quite a bit, is we feel like there is a lot of us, and Hollywood sales prove it, that there's a lot of people out there that feel a lot of the characters we love are just being treated horribly. And it's kind of ironic, like, porn does it better than Hollywood. So we're all for you on that one.
Sorry, Lethal.
No, you go.
I was just going to ask. I sort of asked Axel the same question when he came on. This all sort of came about because of a tweet that went out about the virus, basically coming into Hollywood, and them saying that they're going to be doing CGI sex scenes in films. I don't really want to ask about that. I'm more curious about how the virus has actually affected you with your work and obviously the industry. And you know, are we going to get any films coming soon?
So, okay, so our industry was on hold. I have done 3 scenes so far this month, but it's way different than it was. The sets, they're only allowed to have a limited amount of people on set at a time, which is kind of sad because there are some people that aren't working because of that. And then everyone's wearing masks except the performers, but everyone on set gets COVID tested within 24 to 48 hours. And everything is like just very, very clean, sanitary. Everything's like clean and wiped down, and there's hand sanitizer all over. Like it's just, it's way, way different. I mean, it was clean before, but like now it's like medical grade clean. Like
right.
But it's very different for sure. And like I said, it was shut down for 3 months. So. And there are only some companies that are filming right now. Not all companies are back. And, you know, there are a lot of companies that are talking about possibly coming back in like August, September. But like I was telling you guys before we actually went live, the governor is thinking about doing a stay-at-home order again here. So it's all like up in the air. I just do everything on my own part to make sure that I'm safe as well as my partner's safe. We get COVID tested often. We wear masks whenever we're not home, unless obviously we're on set. That'd be kind of hard, but
yeah,
do my job.
Do you have an opinion on the CGI sex scenes in Hollywood? Do you like what are your thoughts on that stupid idea?
It's stupid is the word. I think it's very pointless. Per se. To me, and it's not because what I do for a living, it's just my opinion, like even off screen. To me, having sex is supposed to be a real connection and real passion. And you're not going to get that. I'm sorry, but you're not going to get that with CGI. You're literally just going to get, I don't even know, like weird. Like it's not going to be good. And I just find that to be hilarious. I mean, if they do that, I would love to see that product because it's probably going to be comedy and I'll be sitting there with popcorn laughing. Like,
Very true. When you like do your own scenes, do you feel comfortable watching your own scenes?
So I don't watch them all, but I do watch some of them, especially the ones that have been nominated for awards, because I like to critique myself, more of like constructive criticism in a way, like, or even take notes of like something that I've done that I'm like, oh, I should try that again. Or, you know what I mean? Do this different next time, or just different things like that. Because as a female, you know, the males are important on film, but as a female, it's like, you know, we're more paid attention to. And I always have to make sure that like I'm showing some sort of body part. So like when I'm turned like facing that way, like I need to make sure I'm turned around all the way and like, you know what I mean? Showing some side boob and stuff like that. So I just always like to watch and see like what I can improve on, because I feel like there's no such thing as being the best. I feel like there's a thing as being, you know, great or amazing, but I feel like no one is the best because there's always room to improve. And that goes for anything in my life.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like speaking of your scenes, was there like one in particular with the Captain Marvel film that you enjoyed like above the others filming?
Yes. My girl scene with Anna Fox. Anna played Monica Rambeau. It was actually the day that it was like 100 out and we were outside all day, and her and I actually we worked in this literally it literally was a little shed. It was like a little shed with a tin roof. But and then we just threw some blankets on the floor. But it was amazing. I love Anna very much as a person and as a performer, and her and I have such amazing chemistry whenever we work together. And not to mention, we both laugh our asses off all day long because we just are ridiculous. so that's definitely my favorite scene of the movie by far. It was really good. I love all the scenes, but if I had to pick one, that's my favorite.
I think
another one. Sorry.
I think mine would be the last one. I think the last one's probably one of the best crossovers we've had in quite some time.
Yeah.
We had Captain Marvel meets X-Men. That was so cool. That was so cool. One of the best Jean Greys I've seen in quite some time as well. That was awesome. So we do know that in the MCU there's going to be a second Captain Marvel movie. Is there any possibility of a sequel on your end? A good Captain Marvel 2?
Well, what I can say is you haven't seen the last of Captain Marvel, and also what I can say is Axel's next big movies. One of them is a thriller that I'm going to be starring in, so it's going to be awesome. Yep. And then another one is set in the DC Axelverse. So I have been really researching the character that I'm going to be playing. I cannot say what the character is or any information, but I've really been researching the character, and I'm going to do the character justice for sure. I'm so excited to play this character, and you guys will be very, very excited once you find out what it is, I'm sure.
I can't
I
wait.
just got really excited just from hearing that. That's for sure.
Yeah, there was someone on Twitter that was like, I guess it's the Birds of Prey film, and I'm like, I don't know, sort of situation.
I can't find it. But somebody in the chat asked, "Do you do your own stunts?"
Oh, that's a dig at Brie because she came in and did that whole thing. Which is like, I do my own stunts, and like the stunt woman's like right there. So what the fuck?
So actually, there's a scene in Captain Marvel where it was Young Rog, who was played by my co-star Quentin James, and we were sparring, and I actually am trained in Muay Thai and kickboxing, and he was like all for it, and he told me, he's like, I want you to like go full on and kick me. And I was just like, are you sure? I'm sorry, but like I kick hard, like. And he goes, yeah, no problem. And I'm like, okay. So we're rolling and we're sparring, and then Axel goes, all right, kick. And then I kicked him, and I hit him in the upper thigh, and he was like kind of limping a little bit, and and Quentin's like, oh shit. And he lifts up his pants, and his legs like all red. I was like, I'm sorry, like you told me to kick you. He's like, no, it's fine. And then he rolled again, and he wanted me to kick him again, and I was like, okay. and I did it again, and he was just like, damn, okay. But the thing that I loved about that was Quentin was so into his character and into that scene that he was willing to let me like actually spar with him. And it's really cool. Like that scene was awesome. It was really, really fun. We did it for probably like 20 minutes, and it only showed maybe like 5 minutes of it in the actual film, but we literally were fighting for like 20 minutes. It was fun.
He would have hated that. How many times did you have to kick him?
Quite a bit.
I think this is a good time to drop the reminder that Axel did say he would get in touch when it went public about his next project. So I can't wait to find what it is. And I have boxes upon boxes of comic books, mostly DC. So if you need help researching any character, just shoot me a DM. I'm more than happy to help that. Well, I had another question. I forgot it. It was something to do with. Oh, yeah. If you could play any character from any comic book, who would you pick?
Oh, it's a tough one. Any. Harley Quinn.
Nice. I can see you as a Harley, actually. Yeah, that would be well. That would go really well.
Oh, I want to see that. That'd be awesome.
That would be pretty
Rhino
cool.
perked up there.
my
He
my
did
ears just went. "Ooh."
Like an
yeah,
excited dog. Linda, do you have any questions? You're so quiet. Talk to me over
yes,
here.
Lyndon is quiet.
Lord Kenzie.
Lyndon, do I have to bat my eyelashes at you? What's happening?
Actually,
Yeah.
that might help.
No, I'm just enjoying the conversation. No, all my questions would be like more movie related. Like, what kind of movies are you most interested in seeing going forward, like from these universes?
Mm,
DC, Marvel,
Yeah.
Star Wars, Star Trek.
I'm definitely I love Star Wars. I'm definitely looking forward to the new Batman. They actually were filming it before COVID hit. So I'm looking forward to that. I always look forward to see like what they're going to do next because there's so many different things that they can do. But I mean, also obviously Captain Marvel 2, I would love to see that just to see like maybe from getting such strong critiques from everyone, did they up their game? You know?
Nah, Marvel's on its way out.
And I don't know. I mean, you guys probably know this, but so I researched my characters before I obviously do them, and so I was like looking into Captain Marvel, and I actually read that she in some of the comic books struggled with alcoholism, and
Yep.
she was an alcoholic, and then she ended up checking herself into treatment, and then when she got out, she even was stronger, which actually helped me in my role because I actually am an alcoholic in recovery. I just got 2.5 years sober and clean.
Congratulations.
And, thank you. And I thought that was really amazing and empowering that they had that in the comic books back then, because it's such a huge thing, addiction that's overlooked by individuals. You know, I think addiction and mental health are way overlooked. And I was really impressed when I read that. And I thought it was truly inspiring, you know, to people like myself and other addicts and alcoholics that are in recovery, even though it isn't a comic book, but it's showing you, you know, no matter what, you can overcome this and you can be a badass. Like you can get there.
Yeah, see that stuff like that is why people are drawn to these characters. It's almost like a mythology in a sense. Like, you know, we look at a character like Batman who, you know, had one of the worst days anybody could possibly experience, and look at the badass he became. You know, like, so for you drew inspiration from Captain Marvel and, you know, stuff like that. That's why a lot of us are so attached to these types of characters. And that's also why we kind of get a bit salty when we see Hollywood do some things that make us go, you're kind of disrespecting the character. It kind of, you know, it's nerd shit, but it does kind of get to us from time to time. We just feel like it's a bit of a middle finger from Hollywood and in our direction. And at the same time, it's like, well, but we're the ones giving you money. So come on, meet us in the middle here. And again, that's honestly, that's that's 3/4 of the reason of why you get so much praise as Captain Marvel. Because we're like, she fucking did it. Like, there we go. That's our Captain Marvel. So like,
I can only speak from like my personal experience, like getting into comics, but I never liked characters that were perfect. I was always drawn to the ones that were fallible, because those to me, like, you know, you brought up Captain Marvel's addiction. Those to me would, you know, send the message that no matter where you are, no matter like what like precipice you get to, you can always come back. Like whenever you feel like you're at your lowest, you can always come back. And those are the characters I'm drawn to, because those are the universal messages that like just go to everyone. I feel like not
look
like
who's here.
Axel.
Hey,
Axel.
how you doing? I got a question I got a quick question from somebody in our chat, Steph, My Nerdy Home. It's from the film. She wants to know, are you going to use the vagina light, your vagina light, to take out the snapper?
You know, I'm still trying to figure out what to do about that damn snapper.
There's your answer.
I was going to ask you, Kenzie, because your boyfriend Seth, he's also in the industry as well. Like, what's that like? Both of you being in industry and being together, because you seem like you're a very stable couple.
Yeah.
More stable than most Hollywood couples these days. Wink, wink. We know who.
Well, yes, he's been in the industry for 15 years. And like I mentioned, he's Axel's best buddy. So I'm sure Axel will like to hear this. So it's challenging, just like every relationship, but it's also amazing. We just had our 4-year anniversary, and I love him very much, and I want to spend the rest of my life with him. And it's amazing to be in the same industry as my partner, because he knows that this is my career. He knows that this doesn't define me as a human being. It doesn't define who I am, and I'm not Kenzie all the time, if that makes sense. So
Sorry, I was laughing at Axel in the chat. Seth is my BFF.
Yeah, he always says that. But I think that it's really great, though. Excellent. I think it's really great, though, to have that in a partner. And just like any relationship, to be successful, I feel like you have to have trust, respect, communication.
Mhm.
Without those things, you have nothing. And especially in the job that we do, we have to have that trust, and you have to have that communication. Because we are having sex with other individuals, so it's and people are weird about that, and don't quite understand the aspect, but that's okay, because it's my life, it's not theirs. So I'm very happy, and I'm very grateful, and our relationship is very strong.
It's great that you can separate the two, though. You can sort of identify that as that's work, this is us, and I think that's excellent. That's really good.
Being professional.
Exactly.
Well, and it doesn't hurt. I like girls also, so like, all right, this is cool.
Yeah,
So do
I saw
I.
your last tweet.
I like that too.
Yeah, that was true. That tweet you put out with Lacey as well. We saw that and we're like, oh, that's cool. That's fucking cool, man.
That's awesome. So Axel, we were just talking about the DC Axelverse.
Yeah, can't wait for that.
Yeah. Looking forward to
awesome.
the announcement. I'm getting ready just to bring up some of the questions that were sent to us in super chats at the moment. Biggles, can you check your Twitter just so I can get a clarification on that? Mara, did you have another question while I was sorting this out?
No, not really. I think like a lot of the questions were, like, at least that I had, like, stemmed from around like the Captain Marvel film that you did, and well, like, is there any, like, I know we like touched on this, but like, it's like definitely in the works, Captain Marvel 2, or is like just Axel just waiting for like the MCU to release their version, and then he's going to go off of like that, like the way he did for his parody version for the first Captain Marvel film, sort of situation.
So I can't say if there's going to be Captain Marvel 2 or anything like that. Who knows? But I can tell you that you haven't seen the last of Captain Marvel, and that's all I can say.
Okay.
Lyndon, you got anything while I'm loading these up?
No, I was just thinking it might be an Avengers.
His brain's been ticking over this whole time.
Here's a question from the chat. Kenzie, do you watch anime?
Do I watch anime? That's funny. I did a webcam show last night, and I got asked that a lot. No, but I would like to. Any good anime recommendations, send them my way.
Okay.
Wait.
Snacks and comics.
I think you
can do that. Don't worry, we got you covered. We got you covered. Black Lagoon. Watch Black Lagoon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I just finished. I haven't finished like the last season, but I just finished that one. That's really good.
That is.
Somebody commented and said Lyndon is here for the ladies. Lyndon is quiet.
Oh, you have no idea. Like, this is literally a thing we say every single week. Like, Lyndon, are you going to talk today? And he goes, yeah. Lyndon.
Okay.
Lyndon does. He helps. Like, whenever we need to bring something up, he's on it, man. He's pretty good for that stuff. Like, and I'm probably the most vocal of the three. But you take away one of these two, this whole thing Doesn't
was
work.
gonna say, I reckon I could talk for all three of us.
You probably could, actually. That's a good point. So it ranges from, it goes from, oh my God, Lyndon, say something, to, oh my God, Rhino, shut the fuck up. In the middle. Okay, now I'm just going to bring up some of these and we're going to get into it. So first of all, there was the really big one from Daniel James. Holy shit, Daniel. Wow. I'll tell you what we're going to do is we're going to take some of that, Daniel, and I'm going to buy Kenzie a full Aussie shirt. If you want one, of course. We send a few to Axel as well. Daniel says, on behalf of our entire community, welcome Kenzie to our little corner of the internet. Here's to a great stream. Let's support our favorite show, the full Aussie. Let's make this one count. Oh, this has been great. Thank you, Daniel.
for that.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. Wow. We'll sort you out with that one. Yeah, see, this is like one thing that I talked about with Axel as well, just based on his press statement that he put out on AVN as well. It was like just the attitude that both you and Axel have shown. It's just like we're so used to like mainstream people dunking on us, telling us we're trash, they don't need us and all that type of stuff. And meanwhile, there's you being like, hey, as long as you're cool, I'm happy to talk, which I think is just absolutely amazing. Axel, he says he got mine. Thank you, guys. Oh, awesome. Did it all come in one package? Sometimes they split it up for whatever reason.
Wow, guys, look how ridiculously good looking Axel is. Look at that picture.
Yeah.
Ridiculously good looking.
Damn.
You're changing Rhino over there. What was next? Muggy Skins. He says the sad truth is as she. The sad truth is as a female, I have more respect for Kenzie Taylor as Captain Marvel than Brie Larson. Disney should have Kenzie replace Brie Larson.
I'm sure Disney would love to have me.
That actually raises a good question. How do you reckon it would go down if you two met? But obviously, you'd be respectful and all that. Like, hey, cool, nice to meet you. But
our Captain Marvel XXX trailer has over 1 million views on YouTube, so I'm pretty sure she's seen it, and she's probably super jelly.
Yeah,
she is super jelly.
But yeah, I can't even imagine how that would go.
At least if you were in her version of the movie, the cockpit line would make a little bit more sense.
That's one of my favorite lines in your movie is when you take the dig at her about having no ass. I was like, that's fucking funny, man.
Right.
That is fucking
or
funny.
the no emotion line.
The no emotion. When your suit magically changes, you go, well, it actually leaked and the people didn't like what they were seeing. Like, stuff like that. That's fucking brilliant. Tatsu, he sends a cat. Thank you. Matt G comes in with the unicorn. Thank you. Drunk Freepio says, can Kenzie say subscribe to Drunk Freepio in her Captain Marvel voice?
Subscribe to Drunk 3PO? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yep.
That'll do.
That'll do.
Oh, sorry.
I should get to that.
Just making sure I heard it correctly.
That's almost
That's really cool. People are tipping? Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
This is
Does that help
crazy.
you
Yeah, it all goes to.
Thank you guys for tipping and helping my new friends.
Oh,
Thank
we're
you,
friends.
Kenzie, for being here. It's been incredible.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
Don't worry, we'll use some of this to get you some merch, some official full Aussie merch, because that's how important we are.
Awesome.
Dolfied, he sends, what's that? It's a lemon, but it's like one of those booty lemons.
Is it like the peach thing?
Yeah, the peach.
Yeah.
It's more like a lemon though on this thing.
It's kind of happening on my booty.
Ord says, this is a great convo to have. This is an amazing panel. Kenzie is killing it. Can we get Drunk Freepio to send us some leggings? Oh god, yes, we got to do that. Drunk Freepio leggings. Borg Porg.
Okay,
says,
if you get Kenzie, I love you, but you get leggings before I do, I'm going to let Drunk have it.
Yeah, that's very true.
yeah, Mara's still waiting for hers.
8 months.
Oh wow, that's a long time. Maybe they got lost in the mail.
maybe. Borg Porg says, porn stars are cool people. I know Jasmine St. Clair, Annie Cruz, and I used to date Stella Banks. As I got to know them personally, we became buddies. Well, that's fucking awesome.
That's cool.
That's really cool, actually. Yellow Flash 2, who's a bit of a celebrity around these parts. He says, Brie has a backside double. Oh, come on. That's got to be one of the funniest things of all time, the butt double stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everyone had a giggle at that. Biggles wants to know if you would ever do a musical one, kind of like how Seth was in Greece.
Oh, I would, but I have a terrible voice. So if someone could sing and just do like a voiceover, but I could still act, like I would love that. That would be cool.
That would be pretty cool.
He actually sang in Greece. He has a good voice. That was actually him singing.
You know what? I think we got to get him on next. He's probably the next one I'm going to try and get.
Yeah.
Kenzie, tell him to message me.
I will.
Oh, awesome! Thank you. I'll tag him in that. See, I'm blown away. Like it's just if I never would have thought 2020 would have gone this route in a lot of ways. Where we up to? Immortal Caudal says, "Hail, want to see Captain Marvel versus Rogue the fun way." That's one of the more famous Marvel fights. Is Captain Marvel and Rogue from X-Men, and Rogue steals her powers. And a lot of people, myself included, kind of want to see that happen to Brie Larson's version of Captain Marvel.
Yeah. She like goes into a coma for like so long times. That could be like a 2-hour-long movie of just Rogue stealing Captain Marvel's Brie Larson's powers. Brie Larson's Captain Marvel's powers.
Oh, Axel.
That is pretty cool. Where are we up to? Sporking News Podcast says, our true Captain Marvel looks like the Captain Marvel, like a real woman and strong to boot. Yeah, very true.
Thanks.
Snacks and Comics, he sends a rose. I'm going to assume the rose is for Kenzie.
Well, it ain't for me.
It could be for Lyndon.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it is for Lyndon.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you say if it is for you, Lyndon?
Who sent it?
Snacks and Comics.
Comics.
Oh yeah, I'll take that.
There you go.
Rosetta Allen, she says, lethal man support to my favorite Aussie players. Thank you, Rosetta. I think I missed some. I'm just going to hit reload on it again. How are we going for time? Oh, boy. Yeah.
We're doing all right.
We are doing all right. We'll be good. Fictopus, our good friend Fictopus, he says, glad this one hasn't been pulled. Big fan, by the way. He's a big fan of yours. Yeah, we've had issues before where sometimes streams get taken down, but
while you're doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But the best one is the stream pulled 9 hours before it was supposed to start.
Oh, that was last.
Yeah.
Oh,
They probably know I'll photon blast them, so.
It was a picture of I had a thumbnail because it was when Brie Larson first joined YouTube. I figured, I'll capitalize off that. So I had a thumbnail of her for a live stream, and I don't know what the scene is from, but it looks like she's masturbating in the shower. You can't see anything, but she's having like this orgasm face, and I was like, that's a thumbnail right there. That's perfect. And YouTube did not like that whatsoever, and they took it down.
It was really an orgasm face. If a piece of wood could have an orgasm, that's what it would look like. That's what it would look like.
Oh, that's fucking funny. Okay, so we got a few more, and then we're going to start winding this one down. I would love to keep hanging out, but I actually have to be on another podcast in about 20 minutes. Snowdub, what up, Snowdub? He says, does Kenzie like puppets? Asking for a friend. How do you feel about puppets? Because Snowdub does a lot of videos with a puppet.
That is a strange question. I don't mind puppets. I used to do puppet shows all the time for my niece, so like I don't mind them. They're cool. Get your puppet.
There you go. There you go, Snow. Yeah. All right, what's next? Daniel, yep. He says, yes, for male porn stars.
He's gay.
Yeah.
Rosetta says, proud of you, Lethal, and even Rhino and Lyndon. Hail to Mara and blessing to the true Captain Marvel, a woman with style. See, that's something that I've noticed quite a lot is you get a lot of love from women as well, just for being like, thank you for actually being a fucking woman. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of like what Mara was saying.
Ever since I did actually the Captain Marvel movie, I can't even tell you how many emails I've gotten from women. And I even have on my website, I have women that have subscribed and messaged me on there as well. And they're fans now, which is awesome, but they loved the movie so much. So I thought that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think that goes along with what Mara was saying as well. Like, just, happy to see an actual woman for once that looked like a woman.
Yeah.
God forbid. Blue-eyed Scorpio, I did miss yours, sorry. He wants to know, did Disney license the stream?
Axel, that one.
Yeah, we bypassed Disney on this one. Who was the last one I read? Rosetta.
Got Oddsboard next.
Yeah.
Oddsboards, thank you. Oddsboard says, bring Axel on for the ladies. They deserve it. Oh, do you mind if I tell the live stream what you told me before when we had Axel on?
Oh no, go ahead.
All right. So when we had Axel on the stream, it turns out we did not know this until about an hour ago. Well, an hour and 15 minutes ago. We did not know this. But Axel is like, this is how cool this guy is. He originally planned to have Kenzie pop in and surprise us during that stream, but he didn't get the link out in time. So she couldn't make it, unfortunately, but I feel it worked out for the best because we've got a whole stream with her.
Certainly did.
Yeah, amazing stuff. Orange Hat Review says, as a reviewer, I can honestly say Kenzie's performance was very well done. She came across as genuine in her acting. Also, massive respect.
Thank you. You guys are so awesome. I love all these comments. Everybody's so kind.
Yeah, it's this crazy concept. It's like, before, like you were saying, like, don't be a weirdo and you're happy to talk.
Yeah.
It does go both ways. Like, it really does. It takes two to tango. So it's, like, you show respect, you get respect back, and we're happy to be respectful to those that are respectful in return. And I feel, based on what you're saying before, you feel the same. Like that story you told before about just having a coffee with the guy. Like, who else would do that? That's just
you want to have
cool.
a coffee with me, don't you?
I do want to have a coffee. I do want to have a coffee. If I go to America next year, we'll go get a coffee.
Okay, I'll meet you at Starbucks. I got you.
I've never seen a Starbucks in my life.
Really?
Yep.
Starbucks is pretty good.
You can take my Starbucks virginity.
Oh.
Damn.
Oh, we got London to laugh. He's laughing.
That's so funny. Then Subhuman with another big one. Holy shit, Subhuman. Thank you so much, sir. Wow.
$100. Thank you.
Wow. Oh my god. Subhuman says, this has been one epic stream. Hail the full Aussie and hail Kenzie Taylor. All hail Kenzie Taylor.
Hail Axel Braun.
And hail Axel Braun. Yes. The king of it. The king of it. But yeah, we're gonna have to start winding down, unfortunately. We'll hang out backstage, but
you got
thank you so much.
You got one more.
Oh, do we?
Yep.
Yeah. One more. Yeah, that one is.
I can't read that one.
Yeah.
It's nothing disrespectful. It's just it's a joke one. It's a joke one. It's not at anyone's expense except for a really bad comic artist. So
To answer, someone asked if I had a YouTube channel. I do not. So just a
start one
question. You guys should let Axel know how much you loved the DVD cover.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I showed them the inside of the outside cover, how it looks like a comic book. They loved it.
We didn't get to see that when Axel came on, and we obviously didn't know the amount of effort that he put in. Let me just say, Axel, that the cover that you did, the amount of effort that you've put in, fantastic, great work, and you guys are putting more effort in than the people that are actually making this for mainstream. So well done.
Yeah, on every single front. Now I can show this without getting in trouble because it's got the home screen. So this is Kenzie's website. I'm going to drop the link to it. Only if you're 18 or older, which should be everybody here. So I'm going to copy that and paste it in there for anyone that wants to check it out. Kenzie, did you have anything you wanted to plug? Anything you wanted to promote?
So my other website that I mainly use, not the one that you just shared, but my one that I mainly use, it's kenziefans.com.
I'll get that now.
And then my Twitter and Instagram are at the Kenzie Taylor. And then, like I said, I will be in 2 movies for Axel this year that are going to be very big. One's a thriller and one is in the DC Axelverse. And I'm really stoked for you guys to see what he has in store.
Can't wait.
Can't
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Thanks
That's
so much for having me. I really, really appreciate you guys.
Oh, we're blown away. We are absolutely blown away for you being here. Okay, there was one final one, and this was from Andrew. He says, "Thank you, Kenzie and the full Aussie crew. Well done, guys." Oh man, yeah. And Axel's still in the chat. What a legend!
Thank you, Axel.
What a legend. Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Kenzie, for coming on. Thank you, Axel, for helping this get set up. This has been absolutely phenomenal. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we will talk to you all later.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
And